Hello, everybody. Good evening. I know you are seeing Follow up on the screen, but yes, this is Badru Oloruntoba. Let's see. I'll be turning on my camera now. Yes, in the spirit of Christmas, I think we should do the Christmas background.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
I was just going to say I can see your Christmas lights and the trees.
Yeah. Well, let me thank you so much for the invite. I really appreciate it. It's always a great time talking about branding. Naturally, I love branding, I love marketing. So whenever it comes to marketing, whenever it comes to branding, you always find me there. All right. Uh I would love this session to be as interactive as possible. I want it to be interactive as possible. So I'll be asking questions and you're going to be answering me. And I would love you to answer me for real. Right. I'll be speaking on the art and art of branding, the arts and the art of branding. And I would love you to, if anybody researched me when they saw the flyer, can you signify in the comment or just drop a reaction to see? Did you search for me? Like when you saw my name on the flyer, did you search for who I was or anything like that? I'm still waiting. If it's no, say no. If it's yes, say yes. Okay, so what did you see when you searched for me? I'm interested in what you saw when you searched for me. All right, I'll just go on and I will start with this. If you are currently jobless in Nigeria right now, you are one of the most lucky people on earth. If you are jobless currently, right, you're one of the most lucky people on earth. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I would say my job is one of the things that I won't say draw me back, but to a very large extent, limited me to some possibilities, right? And when I sit back and think about it, if not because of abuse and everything, it's something that I would really love to quit my job, right? Not because I don't enjoy doing what I'm doing, not because the job is bad. I love what I'm doing. I'm in the marketing department. I work in CWG PLC, by the way, as an art director, and I enjoy my work. But what I enjoy much more than my work is marketing. So I enjoy marketing. I enjoy working there, but I enjoy marketing. I enjoy when I share marketing ideas with people, with everybody, with businesses, with brands. Yes. So before we go further, I don't have a deck right, but I prepared something for us that can help us in the course of this conversation. I'm going to be sharing my screen now. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Okay. Can you all see my screen? Please let me know if you are seeing my screen. I want to hear your voice. Please, can you unmute? And I really want to hear your voice.
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right. I need more voices. I need to hear your voice. I need to know that you are there.
Yes, you can see your screen.
We can see your voice. Sir.
All right. Yes.
You can see the screen.
So for better control, I'll leave it like this on the screen so that you can see as much as I'm saying. So I can also see the progression of the session. Yeah, so I'll be speaking on the art and art of branding, right? And I would love to know what branding is to you, because I'm very sure one of the reasons you're on this life is because you want to know about branding, right? Personal branding. You want to brand yourself, you want to brand your business. Is there an initiative you have in mind? You want to brand it, you want to be seen in a certain way, in a certain light. So I would love to know, what is the idea of branding you have? Again, on mute, if you can send a message to the chat, I'll be looking out for it. What is the idea of branding you have in your head? When you hear branding, what comes to mind? All right, Ololade, go ahead.
Good evening, sir. And good
Hey, good
evening,
evening.
everyone. Happy Boxing Day. So, when I think of branding, thank you. When I think of branding, like in simple terms, what I think of is positioning an image.
Oh, okay, great. You are very correct. Anybody? Pelumi, where's Pelum? Pelumi, are you still here? Victory.
Hello. Hi. Good evening, everyone. Good
Hi,
evening,
Victory.
Pelumi. Yes, yes, yes. I typed in the chat box. I said branding has to do with selling an image, and I also said that creating a perception to an audience. So basically, just I don't want to say packaging, but just selling an image to an audience on a particular product or anything you want to sell, if that makes sense.
That makes sense, makes a lot of
Yeah.
sense. You are right. Ayomide also said branding is more like an identity. Yes, people's first impression of you. That is very correct. Branding is what people say about you when you are not in the room. That is what branding is. What do you think about say Netflix? What comes to your mind when you think about Netflix? When you hear the tudum sound from Netflix, what comes to mind? Right? That is branding. Yes, branding is an identity, right? So I'll be speaking on the art and act of branding, and I wrote some a definition here, right? The art and act of branding is the strategic process of creating a unique identity and emotional connection for a product, service, or organization in the minds of its audience. One thing I didn't mention that is not mentioned in this definition is person, right? Because they said it is creating a unique identity, emotional connection for a product, service. Add person there, add human being, right? To this definition, right? So I'll be going straight into it. The art of branding is the science of branding. It is the principles that guide branding. It is what you see, right? When you see, it's not what you see. It is what sponsors what you see. Don't worry, Anthony. I will get back to that. I know why I say that, and I'm not wrong saying that. I will explain to you. Yes. So the act of branding is the science, the blueprint, is the principles that guide branding. It is the thought process behind everything you see. Right? When we see a GT Bank structure, when you see it, right, you see orange, you see gray. Yeah, you see orange and gray, right? When you see yellow, naturally you just see MTN. But what you see is just the art of branding, right? There's a process behind it. There's a reasoning behind it. There's a science behind the color, right? There's a reason behind everything. When you hear, even when it doesn't have anything to do with MTN, when you hear something like everywhere you go, naturally you just think about MTN, right? Yeah, I said the art of branding is the art of branding, right? Is the creativity, is the beauty that you see when branding comes to mind. All these things leads to one particular topic that I'm going to be talking about today, the art and act of branding, leads us to what I call the 5 mad principles of brand positioning. The 5 mad principles of brand positioning, right? Everything on it has a rule, right? Everything on it has a principle that guides it. It has a law. We have laws. They have the law of entropy. We have the law of a lot of laws, right? Science students, if you are here, you know that there are laws like that, everything is guarded by law, right? Here we'll be talking about the 5 principles that guides the arts and acts of branding, right? So MAD is actually an acronym that means memorable, authentic, distinct, and tactic, or you can say tactical, right? Are you following? Please give me a
Yes, yes,
response so I
yes,
know.
we are following.
So the 4 principles here is the memorable, the authentic, the distinct, and tactic part of branding. Someone is, I think it's Clinton. Somebody is unmuted. Please, can you mute your mic? Right. Right. Someone is still muted. He's still unmuted. Clinton, please, can you mute your mic?
Is she outside or
Well, I don't know if you can mute it from your end. Okay, thank you. Yes, so the memorable, the authentic, the distinct, the tactic part of branding, I call them the 5 mad principles of brand positioning. And I'll start with number 1, right, which is memorable. When we talk about the principles of memorability, right, it just means you need to be describable. That is one of the biggest acts of branding. You need to be describable. You need to whatever it is that you want to sell, it needs to be something that you can define, you can describe, right? I'm going to display some pictures on the screen now, and I would like you to tell me what you see or what you think about when you see these images, right? So here are the images. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 images on the screen. So I want to hear from you. When you see these images, what comes to your mind? Or when you see these things, how do you describe them? Are you there?
Yes, we are here.
Okay, I think the Just Do It shows like Nike. Like every time I see the Just Do It and that tick, it shows like Nike.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want you to just describe what you see on the screen, the pictures on the screen. What comes to your mind? When you see Just Do It, you think what? Nike. You don't need to. There's no back and forth. There is Nike that comes to your head. They don't have to put the spell in there. When you see the Apple comes to mind, right?
Yes.
I'm very sure most people on this call, some people use an iPhone right on the call, right? And when we want to describe this young lady on the far left, how do we describe her? Somebody should talk now. We are Gen Z's here now.
Maybe a performer.
When you want to describe a star, how do you describe her?
I think for me it's a short
It's
skirt.
a
So she's always
performer,
wearing
yeah.
short.
Yes, yes.
Short skirts. That's
Yes.
like the most
she's an
constant
artist with
principle.
definite features that everybody knows her for. She wears the short skirt and everything. You know, it's an star from the start.
Exactly. That's like one of the biggest acts of branding. And this is very important to everybody because if you are going to build a brand, you need to build something that can be described. It's not enough for you to be different. It has to be something you can describe. Arya Star is somebody that you don't have to sing a song for somebody to get what you are trying to say. You just need to describe her as the girl with the short skirt, right? You just know it, right? Look at the guy on the left, meat pie seller. He trended at some point, right? It was also memorable. That's why he trended for quite a long time, right? He trended for quite a lot because of the meat pie thing, right? Anthony Deman, me, I know how to describe Messi Chinwo. Of course, when you see a beret, you already know who it is. The silhouette of the beret already tells you who we are talking about. What about this picture on the screen? The wrong answers only.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
Wrong answers only, please. The
Side
picture on the
Usupa.
screen.
Jagaban.
Tifnubu.
Tinubu.
I said wrong answers only.
Side
I
Usupa.
said
Side
wrong answers
Usupa.
only. Yes, this is Tinubu. You didn't have to see his face, right? He just has this infinity cap, and you just know who it is. It's very describable. It's memorable, right? It's something that sticks to your head. It's something that needs no introduction. And if you think back at the election time, that's like the most prominent figure that they pushed on people during his election. You would see most of the billboard on the road, the lamp post, they barely had his face on it. Some had just the cap, and you just get the message, right? So one of the principle, the acts that we should take cognizance of when we talk about branding is the principle of memorability. That's the ability to be able to be recalled. Like when people see you and they see you again, they can describe you, right? Let's move to the next one. I don't think I have a lot of time. Yes, authentic, being authentic, right? This is like the second, the most important part. And trust me, everything I'm going to be saying here covers most, if not all, branding principles. You find the 22 irrefutable laws of marketing, or is it branding now? Yes, if you break them down, the 22 laws, it falls in one of the 5 principles of brand positioning. So let's move by being authentic. Your brand can't stand for everything. You need to stand for something. You need to be known for something, right? Before Dangote was known for salt and Maggi and everything, he was known for cement. When you hear Dangote is cement, what comes to your head is cement. It was from there he now moved into other products, right? This one says stands for something real, rooted in your truth, and so clear your audience can repeat it in one sentence. Authenticity creates trust. Of course, when you see authentic brand, right, you just remember them, right, for that being authentic. They don't try to be like every other person. They choose a struggle and they go with it, regardless of what every other person is doing. They do what they want to do. If this was a proper marketing class, I would have brought up some kind of brands that they are so authentic that you just know them, right? So I'll be putting up some pictures on the screen now to show some of the authentic people that we have. This example, right? Can you see my screen? Can we see the pictures? That guy at the corner, the right corner. You know who that guy is? He's very authentic. He said he's a babu, and he sticks with that every single time. You would never see Portable try to speak like every other person. You would never catch him. Never. He's who he says he is. He's a babu. He's a very authentic guy, and that is why his brand keeps going. You'll be wondering that this guy is not even all that. Why is he still in the picture? It's because he's authentic. He's doing his thing. He's not trying to sound like Whiskey. He's not trying to sound like K1 the Ultimate or whoever it is. He sounds like himself. The first person in the picture is, of course, the Don Jazzy. Everybody knows Don Jazzy. If you don't know Don Jazzy, let me see your hands up. Of course, everybody knows Don Jazzy. It's very, very authentic, like the most authentic musician we have. And I'm picking musicians because I know most people. We have seen your Wrapped, Spotify Wrapped. We know what you listen to, right? So we know you listen to music. Don Jazzy is unique, he's authentic, right? He's just himself every single time. Then we have Chicken Republic. If there is something about Chicken Republic, it is their rice. Their rice is the same everywhere you go. Their rice is the same. The rice is not great, right? But it is the same everywhere. Chicken Republic would never copy the place recipe or any other brand's recipe. They remain themselves every single time, and they have been doing it for 20 years, right? Then we have Lego. Lego is a do we know what Lego is? Guys, do we know what Lego is? Of course, right? Yeah, so that's that. Let me move on. Yes, D for distinct, D for distinct, D for distinct. What about it, right? It says everything from your logo to how you answer emails is brand real estate. Distinct brands don't blend in. They own their space, make themselves impossible to confuse with another person. Can you hear me? And you'll be thinking that being distinct, is it not different? Is it not the same with being authentic? They are not the same. You can be authentic and still be the same with another authentic person. You can be authentic and the other person is being authentic, but you guys are very the same, very alike. Do you understand? I don't know if we all know, but the example coming to mind right now is Joe Boy and Fireboy. When these two guys, when they blew in Nigerian lingua, right? Many times people confuse Joe Boy for Fireboy because as at that time they were releasing songs back to back, even though their voices were unique, right? They were authentic, but they were still, maybe because of the Joe Boy and the Fireboy, it was easy to still mistake them for each other, right? But if there's somebody that so far has been different and has been bold about it, is Asha when it comes to music. Anyways, there's a particular way she sings that song and she never changes that. She's just different. And when you are different, right, you will be memorable. When you are different, most likely you are authentic. So when you are trying this 2026, if you're trying to build your brand, you need to look towards that direction. You need to look to be different, right? You need to look to be different. The truth is, when you go to the market, right? When you go to the market, a very crowded market, everybody is shouting. Everybody is shouting in a crowded market. But trust me, if a madman should run into the market and maybe pour somebody market away and, start screaming, that noise alone is going to tell everything. It's going to create another different thing entirely. Don't forget that everybody has been shouting, trying to get your attention. But a madman is going to grab all the attention. He's going to steal the attention once he does something very stupid because it's different. Right? I'm going to put up some pictures on the screen, right? Yeah, we have Johnny Drew. So far, Johnny Drew has been very distinct. Many of you would think I'm actually a music person because I'm putting up musicians a lot, but trust me, I don't really do music. But I have my favorites, and this is one of them, Johnny Drew. Johnny Drew is very different. You don't need anybody to tell you. You don't need me to tell you that. Yes, another brand that is different is LinkedIn. LinkedIn have chosen that they want to be for the corporate guys. They want to be for the corporate badges, and they have not changed since then. They are not trying to be like Instagram. They are not trying to be like WhatsApp. You know WhatsApp now, they are bringing up a lot of, I don't even understand, a lot of features every time. LinkedIn still remain LinkedIn. What they stood for was professionalism, right? And they are still the same till today. Then we talk about Glow, we talk about MTN. Glow is Glow. Very different. And MTN, of course, their yellow makes them very distinct. Are we there? Are we following? Please let me see your reaction if you're there. All right, thank you. I'll put up a picture now. You guys are going to tell me where these places are. I'll put up a picture now, and I need you to be to engage with this. There are two pictures on this screen, one on the left and one on the right. Can you tell me where these places are?
Lagos and Ibadan.
Lagos and Ibadan.
Why were you able to tell that it was Lagos, and why were you able to tell it was Ibadan?
The downfall bus and the brown roofs. Distinct features.
You understand? They are very distinct.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The truth is, if they kidnap you and you open your eyes in the midst of yellow buses, you know you are in Lagos. You just know that no, this is Lagos. I might not know which part of Lagos, but this is Lagos. And I'm going to bust your head now. If they drop you in Lekki, maybe it's me, but if they block your eyes like this and they drop you in Lekki, you will know you're in Lekki. There's a particular smell. I don't know why, but there's this unique, not good smell, right? That comes with the island. It smells. We should not even lie. It smells, and it's very unique. Because sometimes when I go to work and maybe work has been crazy and I need to maybe sleep, the moment I get to, I just know that we're on the island. And if you stay in Lagos, right, there's a place called 7-Up along there's a place called 7-Up along Bega to Tomiland area, right? I mean Secretariat. If they blindfold you and you pass 7-Up, you are used to passing 7-Up, you will know you are in 7-Up. There is also a stench about 7-Up that is very different from every other place. And this, I'm not kidding, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm actually telling the truth. Like, the smell is just different. Sometimes that's how I know. The times I stay at work late, that's how I know I'm already on the island. I'm already close to the house. There is just this smell. There are offices there. I wonder how they do it. Let's move to the next one. Tactics. Yes, great brands are strategic chameleons. They are unpredictable in tactics but consistent in message. This way, the competition is always guessing while the audience feels right at home. This one just means that you should be very strategic if you are trying to build a brand in 2026. Be strategic. Be strategic. Don't confuse your audience. The right word is confuse your competitors and make your audience feel at home. Let me think of one of the brands that have done something like that. There are a lot of that. Look at what Coca-Cola is doing now. They have done it before, they are doing it again. Share a Coke with. Share a Coke, it is a tactical common sense that Coca-Cola used. How did they do it? They put names on bottles, and naturally, when you see the names, you just want to give it to the person that bears that name. Sometimes you just buy it and take pictures to share the picture with the person that has the name. Like, oh, I saw your name on the bottle. And they owned the campaign to a point that Gala Sausage decided to run the same campaign, and their name was dragged in the mud. Even Morning Fresh tried it too. Their name was also dragged because Coca-Cola was strategic. And the moment they did it, it became Coca-Cola's thing. So every other person that copied them is Coca-Cola. It feels like you are copying Coca-Cola. Do you understand? Be tactical. Don't just do things because everybody is doing it. How do you want to be different? And the only way I feel like I can, not the only way, but I feel like the way everybody can relate with this is the skit makers. They have unique way of doing their thing. We have Timi Agbaje. Timi Agbaje is a lawyer. His skit is about passing information, using sarcasm, right? To pass information about real life situation, something that's currently happening, right? That's what he does. That's his strategy. Of course, he's an MC. People, they call him for events now, right? But what he did was to come as a lawyer, and we accepted him like that. What's this tall guy's name? He's also a lawyer. The law. uh,
Lai Wasabi.
Lai Wasabi. Lai Wasabi chose something and he stayed with it. Very strategic with his content. I feel like Lai should be one of the skit makers that is making the most money, right? No, not, I won't say the most money, that cut costs on production the most. Because most of Lai's skit doesn't need a camera. All he needs is a phone and his mouth and his common sense. He was very strategic about it. The day I saw his what are they calling it now? Is because if you work in marketing, you see a lot of, you see their rate card, and when I saw his rate card, I was like, are you serious? For somebody that you just use your phone to record, right? Although his production, he has moved on to bigger production, but again, he's cutting costs, he's passing his message, and the deals are coming in, right? That's been tactical. All right, let's move on. About tactics, another thing I will point out is GT Fashion Week. GT Fashion Week. Did anybody attend GT Fashion Week or weekend or holiday version or what they call it? If you attended any part of it, can I see a reaction? I saw nobody attended GT
I attended it last year, not this year, so.
Now, wow, you people are boring. No, you should go out. You should go out often. That's a joke. You're not boring. Just do your own thing. Right? GT Fashion Weekend. That is a strategy. You don't have to use GT Bank for you to attend GT Fashion Week. You don't have to use GT Bank. But they have created a top-of-the-art awareness in your mind. When you think about bank, when you think about Gen Zs, you just think GT Bank. Because they have associated themselves with it. Do you understand? Very strategic guys. Then Coca-Cola, yeah, share a Coke campaign like I mentioned. It's a strategy that works, right? Yes, so there are two pictures on the screen. I would like to ask if you are going to, if someone tells you, Pelumi, I want to dash you stock to any of these car brand, which one will you go for? And they show you these two pictures, which one will you go for? Pelumi, I'm asking you, someone wants to buy you a car or gives you stock to the particular company that owns this car. Which one will you go for?
The one down, that fine one. They're going to make me a rich auntie.
Why not?
Oh, the one up is for my ancestors. This one is the finest version. It's cool. People will start respecting me. All my fans, I'll start having fans now. It will give me moral support.
Oh yeah, others. I'm waiting to hear from you. Which one will you go for?
I think the one with the W logo, is it upside down? Is that not messed?
That's not Mercedes, that's Volkswagen.
Volkswagen again. Work. Sorry, pardon me.
Where are the guys here? I don't know. Are there no car lovers in this chat?
They are shy. Let me call them out. Where's Ayomide? Where's Dapo? Dapo, you're not saying anything. Tosin, Emmanuel, if I'm not saying it, you should choose. You don't know if this is how your car is going to come.
All right, do you know something called Pitman, right? If that B2 car is being pimped and stuff, you're going to like it too. It's all about presentation, you know. But no doubt, the one below is looking nice and all of that. But the one above has this antique. Is it antique they call it? This old card vibe. But when it's done properly, pimped properly, better rims.
That sounds like a political.
I think the one down is a Bentley, Abi. I think it's a Bentley.
I don't know what it is.
But it's sharp, Abi.
But that's what I'm going for. That one can say,
Anthony, why are you going for
yes, that's the word sharp.
Anthony, why are you going for the tortoise? Why? Of all cars. But do you know that Volkswagen, I don't know if that's how it's pronounced, is the owner of most luxury brands that we have? Even that car they are looking at is owned by Volkswagen. So if someone says they want to sell it, dash you stock to a particular car, I would go for Volkswagen because Volkswagen own they own fleet of cars, right? So if they are buying into maybe Audi or Bentley or Bugatti, it's just one of their products, one of their brands. But if I get stock to Volkswagen, I've gotten stock to everything literally. That's tactics. That's strategy. Do you understand? We are still on the 5 mark principle of brand positioning, right? That's strategy. That's another strategy brands do. They use. They create another business entirely that do the same thing that they do, right? And they make them a competitor of some sort because people like choosing sides. The same way if I want to cause fight between two men now, I'm going to bring up what are they calling it now? Samsung and iPhone. When I bring up Samsung and my iPhone, people will start fighting. Some people want to support Samsung, some people want to support iPhone. Why? But it will humble you to know that some of the parts of iPhone, right, is owned or is produced by Samsung. So if you are using an iPhone, you are kind of using a Samsung as well. Because there's something called competition in strategy. Competition is when two brands, competitors, come together to achieve a particular goal. And that is what Samsung and Apple is doing at the moment. Samsung has the facility to produce some of the chips that Apple needs. Instead of Apple to open another store, what Apple did was they outsourced it to Samsung. They reduced cost of creating the chips, right? That's tactics. So as a brand owner, as somebody that wants to build a brand in 2026, you should be opened up to tactics and you should read a lot about these things because this is the only way you can come up with your own. When you know what other people have done, you'll be able to come up with your own, right? Let me rush through. We are close to the end. Yes. So going back, I mentioned being memorable, being distinct, being authentic, being tactical, right? If you are memorable, right, you will trigger recall. They will be able to remember you, right? When you are memorable, that is the M, is memorable, right? You'll be able to be, people or audience will be able to recall your name. When you are distinct, people can tell the difference between your brand and another brand. When you're authentic, you are trustworthy because they know whether water turns to wine, you are who you say you are. Do you understand? Because water turns to wine doesn't make you a drunkard. You are still Jesus the Savior. Do you understand? When we talk about being tactical, it is easily strategy. And let me go back to the guy with the mad idea. One of the biggest, so I mentioned that being jobless might be one of the biggest, or you are one of the luckiest person if you are jobless at the moment. One of the reasons I said that is because you have all the time in the world. Especially if you have something that you are like they are still feeding you, or you still have somewhere to put your head, kind of. You still have some assistant or assistants. You are like very lucky. You know why? Early this year, I lost my account. Facebook disabled all my accounts. And I'm saying all because they disabled all my accounts. And one of those accounts, because I pride myself as one of the pioneers of home photography in Nigeria. When it's newly started, I was one of a lot of brands were under my DM at that point. Before now, the account is gone. So sad. But earlier this year, I lost the account. As if that was not enough, I have 3 hard drives, and those 3 hard drives contain 1 terabyte each. I lost every hard drive that contains my past work. And when I say my past work, I've worked for very notable brands. I've worked with most financial brands in Nigeria, starting from First Bank, right? Echo Bank, EDC, Crimson Oak, Norembeja, just name them, right? I lost everything. And I thought about it that now that I've lost everything, what am I going to be showing to clients that I can do? And if you know me very well, ideas, like they used to say, ideas now water. If you ask me a question, if you bring a problem to me, I might not solve your problem, but I'll give you 70% answer to the problem you are looking for. It might not be 100, but it will move you further than you were before you came to me. I pride myself with that. And I thought about it. These ideas I'm having in my head, I turn them into decks instead of me just talking about ideas to my friends, because a lot of times they bring the ideas down because they really cannot understand. What did I do? I researched about those ideas. I did, as a branding person, as a strategy person, I started all over again on LinkedIn. And if I tell you what has happened since then, you'll be very surprised. If you follow me on LinkedIn, right? One of the brands I post about the most is Shotlers. And when I posted these Shotlers, I wasn't looking for anything in that sense. I just saw the idea. I use Shotlers a lot, and the idea came to my head. I felt it was good, and I ran with it. Guess what? I got a call from the commissioner of transportation for one of the states in Nigeria. Can't remember now. They want to replicate Shotlers in their state capital. And they came to me. Why? Because they saw that I did something online and they loved it. As if that was not enough, I did for Lego as well. Although it didn't happen, we didn't bring it to life, but I was able to converse with some people that I didn't believe I'll be able to have, close proximity with those guys. I dropped another one about SpongeBob. And the truth is, the reason why I wasn't able to chase the ideas down and start something with it was because I have a job. My job was like my limitation to it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say now? The truth is, some of us, we have the time now to build some things. You feel like when you have job, when you have certain things is when you'll be ready. But the truth is, if you start when you don't have, what you start is what is going to give you what you need at the end of the day. If I tell you the kind of stuff I've been able to do this year, you'll be surprised. If I tell you the kind of people I've conversed with, the kind of strategy that I've brought to life, even as I was working doing my regular 9 to 5, you'll be really surprised. And I did that with a job. Imagine me without a job. I'm not saying it's going to be cool. I'm just trying to tell you that at this point that you are, it could be it could be a very good time for you. Oh, you want to know, Anthony? Okay, so I was called upon to lead a marketing team, right? To lead a marketing team for one of the most reputable brand in Nigeria. So what am I trying to say? Whatever it is that you are doing this time, like 2020, don't even wait for 2026. Start now, right? And how do you get that done? Be memorable, right? Be different, be unique, be authentic. Do you understand? Do something that makes you different, entirely different. If you want step to step on how I do some of the things, okay, let me even forget the online talk about LinkedIn and everything. There is one strategy that never fails. Going back to tactical, there is a particular person named Retailed that I've had the privilege to work with recently, and has paid me some kind of money that I wasn't expecting. Trust me. She called for an hangout and I attended. For every time I saw this person, I gave her a gift. For every time. If you're asking me how do you become memorable, how do you become distinct, how do you become authentic? That was my brand, right? what I did was, for every time I saw this person, I wanted her in my circle. For every time I saw her, I brought a gift. And guess what? When she sees me, when they want to remember me, they remember me as that guy that brings gifts every time. I take pictures in church. I take pictures everywhere. In fact, I am I'm an award-winning photographer, right? I shot a behind the scene that won an award internationally. So that's another feather to my cap, right? When I take pictures of people, the reason I'm different in my church, right, is because I smile when I take my picture, and it's not just happening, it's intentional. Because when they want to remember me, they remember me as that photographer that smiles when he's taking pictures. Many times people say, "Why are you smiling?" Somebody might be here, right? Somebody might be here listening from my church. I'm hoping so, right? You can attest to it. Everybody says that. Why is this guy always smiling when he's taking pictures? I'm not smiling for you. I'm smiling for myself because when you live here, you remember that guy that smiled at you. And this thing played out in a very, very important meeting. My friend's sister, my colleague's sister, yes, she was getting married, and I went there, took pictures. The wedding was a very closed one, very, very, very closed one, top executive, and I attended it looking my best as ever, right? Then when it was time to take pictures, what everybody kept saying was, "Why is this guy smiling? Why is this guy smiling? Why is this guy?" Guess what? They called me to take the second picture. Like, they got married, her sister got married, and the husband was there on that day. He told me, "You are the one that should take my wedding." I shot his wedding. Why? Because I was smiling. I was different. I wasn't the only photographer there, but I was memorable. There was something about me that you could tell apart. Why is this guy smiling like this? Same thing when you about dressing. I'm trying to bring this, be memorable, bring this thing, be authentic, be tactical. I'm trying to bring all these things together. So you won't just think it's something you do online. It's something you do offline as well. Right? So I mentioned that there are 5 MAD principles, and we only have 4 acronyms, MADT. What is the 5th one, right? I called the 6th one, yeah, the rule that doesn't play by the rule. That's the fifth principle of brand positioning. I call it the rule that don't follow the rule, which is be mad, stay mad. Don't worry, the T is silent. Be mad, stay mad. This rule, it means that don't be boxed by rules. They don't do it like that doesn't count anywhere. And I'm not even joking. We don't do that. It doesn't do it. See, be stupid enough to make some kind of decision. That's the last rule of brand position. Be stupid enough to shine. I'm very sure, okay, let me not say I'm sure, but many of us might have seen the guy that got awarded 1 million by Elumelu when he was called upon to rap and do all these things, right? This guy was different, obviously, right? He didn't play by the rule. He didn't say, "Oh, the people that came here, this is how they are dressed. I'm not dressed like these people. I'm not supposed to be here." He came as he is. He was stupid enough to go on the stage and grab a mic. He was stupid enough to sing. If you watch the video, you could see the energy he was using to do it. The funny thing is, I couldn't have done it because that's not my way. And if I was faced with something like that, I'll most likely just pass on it. Because again, I know the rules. It's not done like that. But guess what? This guy walked home with more than ₦1 million because he was stupid enough. Because he followed the principles that do not follow any principle, which is be mad, stay mad, right? If you are following, can you type be mad, stay mad in the comment section? Let me know you are following. Yes. I'm not seeing anybody Type it in the comment section. Be mad, stay mad, be mad, stay mad, be mad, stay mad. I think you should even write that somewhere and look at it every single time. There is nobody that, see, think of all the things that have been done in this life and tell me how they make sense. Nothing makes sense. Think about it. Nothing actually makes sense. How are we using our phone to on touchlight? Do you understand? The person that invented the bulb do not intend to put a light bulb inside a phone, but we have flashlights today. It doesn't make sense. Nothing actually makes sense if you think about it. So you stay in your house, you carry a small box, and you choose your restaurant, and you tell them to bring food to you after you have paid, and they bring it to your doorstep. It doesn't make sense if you think about it. But somebody did it, and now everybody's competing in that field. We have Chowdeck, we have this, we have that. They are doing delivery. Why? Because somebody was stupid enough to do it first, right? Again, be mad, stay mad. And let's not forget, let me go back to the slide. Be memorable, be distinct, be authentic, and be tactical. That being tactical is very important. And the last one, and not the least, the one that follows no rule, it is be mad, stay mad. Thank you so much for your attentiveness. Thank you so much, Pelumi, for bringing me up here. I would love to say a lot more things, but I don't really have time, and I'm not even feeling great myself at the moment. I'm a little bit under the weather. Right. So thank you so much. If you have a question, I think this is the right time to drop it in the comment section.
Ivy, thank you so much for this session. I'm so grateful. Thank you for the insightful. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, and I think everybody is going home with the idea of, you know, be mad and stay mad. And one thing that you mentioned is being distinct and being authentic. They are two different things, and that is something that I think everyone should really hold on tight to. You know, you can be authentic, but you're not distinct. You can be distinct, but I don't know if you can be distinct and not authentic, but both are interwoven and they are key things to hold on to. So one question that I have here, you know, you spoke about positioning, like on LinkedIn, you lost some of your files, some of your bragging sheets, you know, your bragging rights and that, and then you now started posting on LinkedIn. Somebody is saying that they are an introvert, they're shy. They don't know how to start on LinkedIn. How will they start? You know, and this is a common problem. People are like, I don't know what to post, I don't know how to start. You know, how do they position themselves? How do they brand themselves? So that when they say, oh, when they mention Pelumi, this is the kind of perception that comes to their mind. So I don't know if you can speak to that, looking at how you started and how it has helped you so far.
All right, thank you so much for that question. It's actually a good question, very, very good question. And I would say something. Let me tell you things I can do, right? And these things I'm about to mention to you, they're not things that I can do. Like I'm trying. They're things I can actually do. I am a photographer, like I said earlier. I am a graphics designer. It means if I want to do it, I will do it well. I am a video editor. I do that if I want to do it. Motion graphics, I do it as well, right? What else? When it comes to fashion, you can find me there, right? I grew up in a not so long lineage of fashion designer and some other things like that. And to be honest, I am not an extrovert. Honestly, I am not. If you see me acting a certain way, I actually manufactured it for that gathering, right? And if you say you are shy, I don't think it's being shy. I think it's pride. You might not think it is, but I think it's pride, because there's nothing like I'm an introvert and I really don't know what to put online. LinkedIn, you don't even have to make videos. Videos don't even do well on LinkedIn. All you have to do is put your picture and write. Storytelling, tell stories, right? Tell stories, very simple. Tell stories. Tell stories. If you check my LinkedIn, right, you'd see that when I go for events, I write about it. When I experience something odd, I write about it. There's something that happened recently that I feel it was absurd, right? OP is currently running a campaign on their app, an Eid campaign. And I don't think it makes sense because Christmas is currently on. I wrote about it. Do you understand? I wrote about it, and writing about it, I see a lot of people. But I'm not even trying to be like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to be religious or be a religious bigot or whatever it is they call it. I'm just looking at it from the lens of marketing. It doesn't make sense, and I post about it. And I've had a lot of other posts like that. And there's some posts I even had to bring down because the brand asked me to. Not because I said something bad, not because there's a lawsuit against me. For me to post something, I've checked every nook and cranny, right, and ensure that nobody's coming for me, right? So how do you post online? How do you show up? Pick something and show up as that something. Like I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of things I can do, but I have never, if you ask me what I do, I would never come to you and say I'm a photographer. No. I would never come to you and say I'm a graphic designer. No. That's where brand position, storytelling comes in, right? What do you want people? What's the first thing people should hear when they see you? The guy with the mad idea, I think it's very unique. I think it's a very memorable, right? When you see the guy with the mad idea, you are curious. Who makes this guy the guy with the mad idea? Why do you think you have a mad idea? Do you understand? It makes you want to know. And the moment you get closer, you realize that, oh, there's more that meets the eyes than just the guy with the mad idea. I could literally post myself as, oh, I do graphics, come and patronize me. I could literally post I can do all these things. But I decided to stay with brand strategy. So if you check my profile, you see the guy with the mad idea, and the next thing you see is strategy. Right? So when it comes to positioning yourself, choose the line you want to be. When you are strong, we can now go into other things. Say, for example, Dangote cement. So Dangote started with cement, but now we have Dangote in our kitchen. It's called Dangote sugar and Dangote salt, right? But they never started as Dangote sugar, Dangote salt, this, that. They started as Dangote cement. So look for your Dangote cement. Start with your Dangote cement and go along with others. And if there's something about the skills I have, I am able to bring everything together under one umbrella. When I tell you I'm the guy with the mad idea, when I tell you I'm a strategist, in my strategy, you will see my graphic designing. In my strategy, you will see my pictures, right? In my strategy, you see my my partnership research. You see all these things. Do you understand? So that is how you position yourself. Look at yourself. Look for your Dangote cement. Stay with it. When it's time, you move on to your Dangote salt and Dangote sugar. I hope you guys understand me.
Yes, this is very
Yes.
amazing. Look for your Dangote cement, like your starting points, because I feel like there's so many people. We have so many things that we're doing. So people like, I can do this, I can do that. What do I position myself? I think it's looking for that strongest point for, so the one that you're very comfortable with, the one that is most expressive for you, right? To work with that. Okay, there's also another comment or question in the chat box from Emmanuel. Hi, Emmanuel. Good evening. So Emmanuel's question is, how do I manage conversations, especially in DMs on LinkedIn, in terms of reaching out to people and starting up a conversation to build collaborations and share opportunities? Because some people are very snobbish on LinkedIn, very snobbish people. And then, but how do you do that strategically to ensure that you get the best of that relationship, or to stir up conversations, or to, build opportunities or collaborations? I don't know if Miss Jessica is on the call. She could also contribute to this conversation. But Finn, you can go ahead first.
All right. When it comes to what I do, right, is I observe you for a while. I follow you closely. I'm not, so some of us, we are very we are stingy with likes, with engagement. It's as if you comment too much, they will deduct something from your account. Or if you like somebody's post, there's going to be a problem. Do you understand? I do it freely. In fact, I turn on notification of key people I want to follow. Do you understand? So when they post, I engage with it. When they post, I get a notification. Even if I'm doing every other thing, I engage with it. You don't just go straight to the DM. You need to stay around, hang around for a while, right? Before you go into the DM. They need to have seen you multiple times before you eventually, beckon to them. There are certain conversations that I've taken from comment section into the DM. Do you understand? And sometimes you just go to the DM, not just to say, okay, sir, I'm doing this or I'm doing that. You start with something they have said before. Do you understand? You start by something they have said before. There are some brands that I have communication with some of them, not because I'm different, right? Because I've shadowed them to a point that they don't have choice. They don't just have choice. They have seen me too much to ignore. And the truth is, they can ignore me today. When it's tomorrow, I will still like. And there is another key thing that I did. I still did it this December. I'm going to tell you. So there's somebody I've been shadowing, like I said. He's not in Nigeria, of course, and he has been abroad for a very long time. I've seen his work. I've heard his words, his thought process, and everything, right? And I like him. Not that kind of like, of course. Do you understand? So what I did was, there is this program he does every time, and he posts his graphic, and I don't like the graphics. I'm like, this man is better than all these things. Mind you, I don't show myself as a graphic designer online. If you go to my LinkedIn, you would not see me posting graphic and say I did it, yay or nay. You would never see it. But what did I do? I called him. I told him that I want to do this for you. And he said, are you serious? What do you want? I said, I don't want anything. I'm just tired of seeing this thing. I want to change it. And I did it. Guess what? This December, I did another design for him. He didn't ask me. We didn't even talk. I didn't even wish him Merry Christmas or Happy Christmas, Happy Thanksgiving. No, I didn't say that. I just designed a customized graphics, right? And I wrote his name, and I told him, Merry Christmas, sir. I just thought to do this in case you want to send it to special people in your life. You can send it to them so it looks, and if you want to personalize it, I can give you a template that you can put. I can put it on Canva such that you can edit the name so it looks more personalized. He replied me. He said, you schedule a call. We need to talk on how we work ourselves in 2026. Simple. John, it's not that simple, because trust me, I had a lot to do. But I did it because I needed something from him. Do you understand? And I followed through. Like, when he posts, I'm one of the few people that, and you know that engagement is very, is somehow on LinkedIn. It's not easy. If you see someone have 20 likes on LinkedIn,
very true, very true.
20 likes is a lot on LinkedIn. Do you understand? Just 20 likes is enough on LinkedIn. Is you are doing well if you have 20 likes, because algorithm is bad on LinkedIn. Sometimes your post will just blow up. You'll be wondering that, but what did I post now? But the ones you put all your energy to not go well. So people like that, when you engage on their posts, they will notice. Stop chasing all these people that have engagement. Most people that are going to change your life on LinkedIn, they don't have any follow. They don't really have engagement like that. Be the first person to comment. Be the only person to comment. If you see that a particular post has only like as a reaction, use love to do your own. React with a love. When he sees it and he clicks on the people that like the post, you will be different. You that you love, you will be one. And that one, it will be very recognizable. Do you understand? These are the ways you can position yourself strategically before you eventually enter someone's DM. The truth is, they don't know you. They don't care about you. So why should they listen to you? Do you understand? So I've mentioned two things now. Shadow them online. Engage with their posts. Let them know that, okay, because the truth is, people that are going forward, they only move with people going forward. So you need to let them know that you are going the same direction, although you're ahead of me, but I'm following you closely.
True. That's absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Thank you so much. I don't know if Ms. Jessica wants to say something. I know you're still on the call. Do you want to add to that? Because you're on the global platform. So I don't know if you want to make some additions to that in terms of positioning on LinkedIn, reaching out to people for collaborations?
Well, I think he has already nailed it. I didn't know that what he shared was a strategy. The last month, somebody reached out to me. She's in the UK and she asked me to review her CV. And I asked her to send it to me on WhatsApp, and then I did not answer her for the next 2 weeks. And one day I went to LinkedIn and I saw she had liked on my own posts. And it was 3 a.m. in the morning. And it's like, my God, why is this girl liking on my post? And then I remembered that she asked me to do CV, and then I went to WhatsApp, and then I quickly answered her and sent it to her. So I think that if it worked for me, it's a very, very good practice that he has shared. And I also think I'm also going to, now that I know the strategy, I'm going to be doing it to other people that I want to get their attention. But like everything that he has said is very true. Show up on LinkedIn, posts. You don't really, recruiters, and the algorithm of LinkedIn doesn't recommend you really based on likes, but by what you post. So even if you get 5 likes, and I'm looking for a business analyst, for example, and you've been posting a lot about business analysis, the person is your person is going to pop up, even if it's just 5 people who have liked that post. So it's very important that you're sharing the knowledge that you know and you are showing up. Another thing I do whenever I'm looking for a new role like that, I'm not very active on social media or anything, but with everything has stopped me today. 2026 is my name. He said something and I wrote it down. He said, I'm just going to put down, so pick something and show up as that thing. So if you want to be a product manager, pick it up and show up as a product manager. You want to be a strategist, pick it up and show up as a strategist. So I'm saying that I'm going to pick up something and I'm going to show up as that in based off the advice that he has already shared with me. So that's what I was just saying. I'll say everything he has said is really spot on. Be memorable. I've also started thinking about how to be memorable and how to build my brand and make people know the amazing work that I do. So yeah, everything he said, I hope you took notes. I took notes, I'm not going to share. But in 2027, get ready, set. I'm going to come back with my testimony and my percentages.
Okay, we're looking forward to hearing that. I think Victory is she's on the call. I don't know if that's her name. Person who reached out to you for the CV. She wrote, "I'm here" with exclamation marks. I don't know.
Victory, so you need the strategy. It works for me.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm here.
Okay, yes. So guys, you see how to actually strategically, this is what you call strategic networking, right? All right. So we have one more question that we'll be taking. That will be the final question. So this person says, says, like, I'm most of the time very funny on my WhatsApp status. How do I reposition myself so people know when I am serious and not being funny? Like, there's some of our friends, they've seen us finish because we used to post memes, we just used to catch crews. How do we show them that actually have sense? So all this is I'm posting, I'm just catching crews. I'm just trying to be funny or to relieve myself from work stress. So how can I reposition myself to show that I'm actually a serious person? Please, can you help us with that? Thank you, Ma.
I would say there's nothing wrong with being funny. If that is your personality from God, there are some people that are trying funny. But I will still go back to what things that pick something and show up as it is. If you want to appear serious, even though you have a funny personality, pick the days of the week. Make sure that people that they have specific posts that they post at specific times. I have people that work on WhatsApp. I don't really do status but I know that if I go to this person on Wednesday, I see certain things. I know that if I go to this person on Thursdays, I'll see certain things. So pick something, pick it and show up as it is. You want to appear more serious, you want to appear more thoughtful. Okay, can you say to your your community and say, okay, I'm going to do a Thursday Thursday. On Thursdays, I'm going to share my thoughts on certain things, and then pick that time of the week and share your thoughts, share your learnings, and show that you know this thing. And besides, there's nothing wrong with it. And people really do like funny people. I personally like funny people. I feel like they make the Zoom like for and more not a people about that. So, but you can show the different side. I know that you're not following all the things to impress them. You're not following like fingers and stages of the. So if you want to show the other side of you, just pick it up and show. Designing. I really, really like that statement that film because it just shows that you can design whatever you want, whatever you admire in other people. You can design it and see how you can incorporate it into your own self, and because time their identity will stick to you. We all have unique identities. We all have great destinies. But we will manifest those destinies when we believe it, and then we begin to show up as the president of that.
Thank you so much for doing justice to that question. Thank you so much. So, just design it the way you want to, be your authentic self, but be distinct, show up the way you want to, just having a balance of your funny side, your professional side, and just be you. Sometimes we try to suppress our real self because we're trying to be this kind of person. And, like Finn said, you have to be authentic and you have to be distinct. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this call. Thank you so much. I need to thank everybody once again. Thank you, Jessica and Finn, for honoring our invitation. I'm super grateful. I sent this almost last minute, I was supposed to send there should be maybe a 1 month time to, to notify you. But thank you for accepting my short notice invitation. Thank you to everyone who has reshared the flyer, who has reposted. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you, Ronti. Thank you, David. Thank you, Victory. Thank you, MM. Thank you, Mary Jane. Thank you, everybody. I am super, 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 super grateful. If I don't call your name, don't worry, I'll call your name. Thank you, Dimeji. Thank you, Adeumi. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Kende. Thank you, Akonvi David. Thank you, Emmanuel. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you, Faith. Thank you, Gabriella. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Jumoke. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Adebayo. Oluwayemisi, thank you. Thank you, Peace. The second piece, thank you. Thank you, Samson Kende. Thank you, Sonwo. Arati, Sister Selipopo, I can see you. Thank you, Stewart. Thank you, Sunday. Thank you, Temito Perut, Gochiku Moses, and Victory. Victory is like our star of today. Victory, I need to connect with you on LinkedIn so that I'll come and enter your DM and tell you how to strategize properly. Thank you so much for joining us. So, the recorded version of this webinar will be sent to your mail when it is ready. I would also speak with our speakers so we can know if we can have access to the slides for future use. Thank you so much. You can drop your LinkedIn profile in the chat box so we can connect. I'll drop the one for Jessica and Fee. I'll just drop that shortly so you can connect with them on LinkedIn. You don't even need to send them a DM. Just listening to what they say, their posts, it will go a long way for you. That's learning from a distance. I'll just share for Jessica and for Fee shortly in the chat box. You can drop yours also. Please, let's connect with one another. I know by God's grace, 2026 will be much more for us. If you did 10 in 2025, times 20 times 30, more and more by God's grace. So yes, okay, Manuel has shared it. So you can just connect with them on LinkedIn. At least when you see their posts coming up once in a while, you'll be able to, learn from them, keep in touch, just like, follow. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm super, 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 super excited. I don't know, does anyone have anything to say before we call this a wrap? Because it's almost 8:30. I don't want to keep you here for long, but thank you so much for joining the call today. Thank you, Messi, my Ibadan girl. That's why she recognized Ibadan quickly. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so we're going to call it a wrap for today. See you guys next year. We're going to have Ready Set 2027 by God's grace. So I'm inviting you officially. I'm officially inviting you for next year's edition. It will be better, it'll be powerful, it'll be inspiring. I want to see us with more results. So in the chat box is the link to Product Geeks. So Product Geeks is Miss Jessica's organization. So if you want to do like CV reviews, revamp for your application, your applications, I say applications, you can always reach out to them on if you want to book a call, your review for your resume, your cover letter for specific job roles that you think you need like a third party eye. Please kindly connect with her and get the link in the chat box. You can just copy the link and keep it. You never know. Your next big opportunity might just be in January 1st. So just copy the link and share and keep it because you might need it very soon. So thank you so much, everyone, once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Please connect with one another on LinkedIn. And we'll see you guys in 2026 while we're preparing for 2027. Bye and good night, everyone. Good night.